Welcome back. Part 1 covered the theory, and now we roll up our sleeves. Over the next few slides, we'll go from an empty Linux VPS to a working SSH session tunneled through V2Ray in 7 concrete steps. Provision the server, install V2Ray core, issue a Let's Encrypt certificate, write both server and client configs for VLESS over WebSocket+TLS, and finally, wire SSH's proxy command into a local SOCKS proxy. Budget about 30 minutes and roughly $5 a month. One ground rule before we touch a terminal. Confirm you're authorized to run this pattern on your target networks. With that settled, let's begin. Step 1. Stand up the server. Any small Linux VPS will do. A $5 DigitalOcean droplet, a Hetzner CX11, whatever you prefer. And pick a region close to you or your bastion to keep latency down. Stick with Debian 12 or Ubuntu 22.04 so the rest of the commands land cleanly. Once it's up, grab a cheap domain, point an A record like relay.example.com at the VPS IP, and confirm with dig before you SSH in. And the moment you're logged in, update the system. Apt update, apt upgrade, reboot if the kernel changed. Clean baseline, then we move on. Step 2. Install V2Ray core itself. The V2Fly project ships an official installer that handles the system unit, drops the binary into OSR local bin, and lays down config directories under OSR local at its server V2Ray. Don't just pipe it straight to bash, though. Curl it down, page through it with least so you know what's about to run as root, and then execute it. A quick V2Ray version confirms you're good, and if you'd rather use Xray core or Singbox, the architecture is identical. Every config pattern we cover still applies. Step 3. The TLS certificate. The whole illusion of WebSocket over TLS rests on traffic looking like ordinary HTTPS, and that means a real cert from a real CA, not self-signed. Acme.sh is perfect here. Tiny, well-audited, no Python baggage. We use the standalone HTTP 1 challenge, which briefly grabs port 80 to prove domain ownership, then releases it. Install the full chain and key into batch a as Encrypt V2Ray where the daemon will read them. And acme.sh quietly drops in a cron job to renew every 60 days. Set and forget. With the cert in place, step 4 is the brain of the operation, a single JSON file describing how V2Ray core should behave. We're stacking 3 layers on port 443, VLESS for client authentication, WebSocket as the transport, and TLS wrapping it all so the wire looks like vanilla HTTPS. Generate a UUID with V2Ray UID and paste it into the client's array. That's effectively the password. Note the path under WS settings. Pick anything you like, but client and server must agree. And the freedom outbound just means, once decrypted, forward the traffic onward to our local SSH bastion. With the config written, it's worth a dry run before touching system. V2Ray test parses the JSON and catches typos cheaply. If it comes back, configuration, OK, enable, now both starts the service and wires it up for boot. 2 quick confirmations seal the step. Systemqtl status should show active running, and SSTLNP on port 443 should list V2Ray as the owning process. If anything refuses to come up, journal CTL on the unit will name the culprit, almost always a stray comma or a wrong path to that cert. With the server humming on port 443, the focus shifts to the other end of the tunnel, your laptop. The good news is it's the same V2Ray core binary everywhere, just pointed at a different config. On Linux, the exact install script from the server works again. macOS users can lean on Homebrew, which also sets up a launch agent for you. And on Windows, either grab v2ray.exe from the GitHub releases or use a GUI wrapper like V2Ran. Under the hood, it's still the same core. With the binary in place, the client needs a config, and it's essentially a mirror of the server, flipped inside out. You're declaring a local SOCKS 5 inbound on 127.0.1 port 1080, which is what SSH will dial into, and an outbound that speaks VLESS over WebSocket over TLS back to relay.example.com on 443. The two non-negotiables. The UID has to match the server exactly, and so does the WebSocket path. That shared UID is your credential. Treat it like a key. Now run it in the foreground first. That way, any handshake error or TLS mismatch shows up immediately instead of disappearing into a system log. When you see SOCKS server listening on 127.2.1 to 80, the client is up. From a second terminal, curl Epify through the proxy and then without it. Two different IPs, the VPS address through the tunnel, your real address without. And you've proven the full chain works end to end. Only now is it worth wiring SSH on top. With the tunnel proven, the last step is teaching SSH to use it. SSH already speaks SOCKS through its ProxyCommand option. You just handed a SOCKS-aware connector, either BSDNC with the -X5 flag on macOS or NCAT with my proxy type SOCKS 5 on Linux. Drop a host block into acme.sh config pointing at your bastion. Add that proxy command line, and from this moment on, plain SSH bastion quietly traverses V2Ray over TLS on 443. No flags, no wrappers, just SSH. Before declaring victory, run 3 checks in order. Each isolates a different layer. First, curl the relay over HTTPS. A 400 bad request is actually the good answer because it proves TLS terminated cleanly and V2Ray answered. Second, curl through the local SOCKS port to Epify. You should see your VPS's public IP, confirming traffic genuinely exits the tunnel. Third, SSH bastion. If you land on the bastion prompt, the whole chain is live. If something breaks, the first failing check tells you exactly where to look. Of course, things will break. So here are the 6 failure patterns you'll actually hit. A cert error or unable to verify certificate means TLS is unhappy. A clean HTTP 400 from curl, but failure through SOCKS points at the WebSocket path. And a silent connect with invalid user in the server journal is almost always a UUID mismatch. Copy-paste. White space is the usual culprit. Connection refused means your local V2Ray died. An SSH timeout when SOCKS works means the bastion's hostname isn't resolving on the server side, and if curl fails from outside entirely, port 4043 is firewalled. The golden rule: walk the layers in order, HTTPS, then SOCKS, then SSH, and the first thing that fails is the thing to fix. Don't just restart and hope. Once your tunnel works, you don't want to babysit it. So let's demonize the client so it survives a reboot. The cleanest pattern on Linux is a system user unit living under your home directory, which means no sudo, no root-owned process, and logs that land in your own journal. Notice execstart uses %h to expand to your home. Restart Dacian failure with a 5-second back-off handles, transient crashes, and wanted bar default .target ties it to your user session. Daemon reload, enable, now, and a quick status check should show active and running. On macOS, the equivalent is a launch agent plist or library, launch agents, same idea, same hygiene. And that closes part 2. You've gone from an empty VPS to a real certificate, V2Ray running on both ends, SSH ProxyCommand wired up, and a demonized client that survives reboots, end-to-end through TLS on port 443, but working isn't the same as safe to leave running. Part 3 picks up the hardening layer, dropping V2Ray to an unprivileged user, locking SSH down to keys and MFA, journaled and failed to ban for monitoring, plus the troubleshooting playbook for when DPI gets clever. See you there.